In this video, we're going to learn how to start drawing lines. So the first thing you need to do is open AutoCAD. At the Get Started screen, go to the big red A or the application menu and select New. Choose the ACAD.dwt file when the window pops open on your screen and click OK. For me, I just hit enter because my computer is a little different. Once you get the black background with the light grid, we know the new drawing file has opened and we are in business. Now before we start drawing, it's important to understand that AutoCAD is used in a lot of different applications. Engineers use it, architects use it, there's a number of other professions that use it as well. AutoCAD actually has a few different types of measurements, units of measurements that it has to accommodate all the professions that use it. So when you open a new drawing, AutoCAD actually defaults to the unit measurement called decimals. Well, as interior designers, we do not measure in decimals, we measure in feet and inches, right? So every time that we open a new drawing, we have to tell AutoCAD, hey, we don't want you to measure in decimals, we want you to measure in architectural units. So to do this, we type the word units, and you can type it anywhere. It doesn't really matter where your cursor is or anything like that. Type units and hit enter. The drawing units window will pop up, and do you see where it says decimal? We're going to click on this arrow and we're going to change it to architectural, and then we're going to click OK. Now we can begin to draw objects using feet and inches measurements. Simple as that. Now this step has to be done every single time you open the AutoCAD software and you choose a new drawing. So if you don't do this, you're going to be drawing all of your objects in decimal units and not in feet and inches. So this is actually a really important step. Please do not skip it. Every single time you open a new drawing, you should type units and change it to architectural units. Now that we're set to draw in feet and inches, we can start drawing some lines. Now up in the ribbon, let's go to the Home tab and look at the Draw panel. These buttons are called commands, and they are the types of objects and shapes that we can use to draw with in model space. So let me show you a couple of features that are good to know for beginners. If you hover your cursor over the line button, do you see how a little panel opens up explaining what the command is? Also, there's some graphical instructions about how to use it. So this is a handy little feature in case you don't know what a button or a command is. Just hover your cursor over it and this little instructional panel will open up for you. At the bottom of that panel is a word in all caps. So in this instance, it's L-I-N-E for line. If you type that word in model space, it will also activate the command for you. So remember how I said that there's some people who are button pushers, there are other people who are typers. Most of us kind of fall into a half and half category. Feel free to find your own groove, but know that you can either press the command button or you can type the command and you will basically get the same thing happening on your screen. So we're going to practice both methods in this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and click this button. And let's move the cursor down into model space. I'm not doing anything yet, just moving it into model space. Notice that your cursor has instructions floating next to it. It says specify first point. And when you start a command, AutoCAD is basically saying, hey lady, I see you started a command. In case you don't know what to do, here's your first step. Hey, thanks AutoCAD. You're a groovy guy. Now notice also that the command bar at the bottom of your screen is also giving you the same instructions. What's really great about AutoCAD is it can be a great helicopter parent by telling you and helping you through the process of drawing. Remember, if you ever get lost in the middle of a command and don't know what to do, look at that command bar. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. So let's start the first point. Position the center of your cursor anywhere in the model space and click once. Notice that wherever you clicked it, it planted the line in the exact spot of the center of your cursor. And as you move your cursor out, you can see that the line attaches to your cursor. And you can see where CAD is telling you how long the line is in feet and inches, and it's also telling you the angle at which you are placing the line. So for this first line, let's just randomly place the second point of the line somewhere on your screen. Anywhere is great. Let's do it about right there. You have drawn your very first line in AutoCAD. Congratulations! I see the force is strong in you. Now notice that AutoCAD wants to continue drawing this line. Once you tell AutoCAD that you started a command, you also have to tell AutoCAD to stop the command. So to tell AutoCAD to stop drawing, you can click the Escape or the Return button on the keyboard. A little tip from me to you is when working in AutoCAD, I always keep my left index finger on the Escape key and my right hand on the mouse. It just makes CAD life so much easier, quicker, and faster that way for you. Let's draw another line. I want to show you another way to end a command. So let's type line this time. L-I-N-E. Notice that a little pop-up comes up. Any command that starts with the letters that you type will be listed here, so it's an easy way to find a command if you need to. We're just going to go ahead and hit enter, or you can use your cursor to actually select the blue highlighted line. So as you can see, the cursor again is saying specify first point, as is the command bar. So let's do another line. We're going to start it here. This time I'm going to go straight across. Notice that green line extending out from where we're drawing. That's just helping me keep the line perfectly straight. Before I click on a second point, I want to show you how to draw a line at a specific distance. So let's draw a 1 foot line. So move the cursor in any direction that you want to. I'm going perfectly straight. Then type 1 and the apostrophe, which is located next to the return button on your keyboard, and then hit enter. What happens is that AutoCAD automatically drew a perfectly straight line at 1 foot increment. Let's draw another one. Let's do another 1 foot line, but let's go at a diagonal. So I'm going up about 23 degrees from that straight line. And again, 1 foot, enter. There's another 1 foot line that AutoCAD has drawn for you. I'm going to go straight down this time. Notice I do get a green guide, and I'll be talking about that in a future video. But for right now, what if we wanted to do a 1 foot 2 inch line? I'm going to click 1 foot, and then I'm just going to do 2. I don't need to put a quotation mark or anything after it, just 1 apostrophe 2, enter. And it kind of went off my screen a little bit, so let me show you. If you have a center wheel on your mouse, if you click down on it, it should make your cursor go to a hand, and then you can pan yourself up. If you don't have a mouse with the center wheel, right over here in the navigation tool is the pan button, and you can click on that and it'll change your cursor to a hand, and you can pan around as you need to. Hit escape to end that command, and you'll see that AutoCAD brings you right back into drawing mode. So that is how you can draw a line using specific measurements. Now instead of hitting escape, let's right click with your mouse and choose either enter or cancel. Either one of these will end the line command for you. Right-clicking to end or start commands is one of the quickest and most efficient ways to work with AutoCAD. And being quick and efficient should definitely be one of your goals. So please pause the video now and practice drawing lines using the button and typing technique, and also practice ending the lines using escape, return, right-click. And don't be shy with practicing how to draw a line using specific measurements. Now that you have a good sense for how to draw lines, let's practice deleting them. There are lots of ways to delete objects that you have drawn. The first way is to simply click on the line. So let's select one of the lines that you drew previously, Hover your cursor over the line and you'll see that it highlights in white. That means you're about to select something, and notice it does it at the center of the crosshairs of your cursor. Click on the line and you'll notice that it actually highlights the line in blue. This is how you know you've selected the line. Notice that the line has 3 blue squares, one on either side and one in the middle of the line. These are called grips, and they allow you to maneuver the line, make it smaller or larger. I can make the line smaller, I can make it larger, I can also change the direction that the line is going just by clicking on one of the grips. The first click makes the grip stick. Very clever, right? I'm a poet and didn't know it. The second click will detach it from the cursor and allow your line to position where you asked it to. Now the center grip will pick up the entire line and move it where you like without changing the line. So that's a little bit about how to work with a line using the grips, but we're still interested in deleting the line. So once a line is blue and you can see the grips, all you need to do is hit delete on the keyboard. Wow, so easy! Now hit the undo button at the top of your screen, or you can do Control Z to bring that line back. So as you can see, I can actually go back in time and not necessarily fix an issue, but I can bring things back that I had previously done. This time we will click on it, right click, and choose the erase command, and that deletes it. So again, click on a line to highlight it, to select it, and then right click and erase. Now either way works just fine. I tend to be a delete button girl, so I want you to practice a little more on deleting. Pause the video, draw some lines, practice using the delete key as well as the right click erase method until all the lines that you have drawn are gone. Alright, so we've drawn lines, we've deleted lines. I have one last trick to show you before we end this tutorial. Now I want you to draw 6 more lines. Any way, anywhere you want them, in any direction. You can draw single lines or you can draw connected lines. Just draw 6. Got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to unconnect. Right click. Notice that I can go to repeat line by right clicking. That makes it a lot faster than having to go all the way back over or typing. I'm going to do something like that. Right click, enter, right click, repeat line, and we'll do a little guy right there. And enter. So now I have 6 lines on my screen. What I'm going to do now is to show you how to highlight multiple objects at once. Now I could click on a line to select it and then click on another line to select it. And I could click on all the other lines to select them all at once. That's one way, but there's actually a faster way. Hit escape to unselect an object. Now move the cursor towards the bottom right hand part of your screen. Click once, do not drag, but move your cursor up and away from where you clicked it. Ooh, we got a green box. Isn't that exciting? Watch what happens to an object when the green box touches it. It kind of highlights a brighter white. And every time that the box actually touches it is when it's highlighting it. As soon as you end the box by clicking, whatever touched the green box highlights. It selects. In the movie Ghostbusters, there is a green ghost named Slimer. Anything he touched in that movie got slimed. So think of it this way, anything that the green AutoCAD box touches gets selected. Good analogy, right? I thought so. So this is an easy way to select multiple objects at once. Hit escape to unselect the objects. Now this time I want you to move your cursor to the upper side of your screen. Click, don't drag, and notice that you get a blue box. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's see what happens when the blue box comes up. Hey, it's not really highlighting anything. Okay. Oh, look at that. It highlighted the one line that's totally inside the box, and that's what the blue box does. It behaves a little differently from the green box. The blue box is only going to select an object if the entire object is inside of the blue box. If any part of the object is outside of the blue box, it will not select. So now we have a few lines selected, but notice I've got two lines that are not inside of the blue box completely. Hit click and you'll see that it only selected the lines that were completely inside the blue box. Pretty cool, right? At this point I could hit delete and anything that I have selected is gone. I'm going to hit the undo button to bring all those lines back. And what I want you to do is pause the video and I want you to practice using the green box and the blue box to become familiar with how they behave. What gets highlighted, what doesn't get highlighted. Now what do you do if you want to select all of the lines, but maybe you want to leave a couple of lines unselected? Here's a quick and easy method. So go ahead and select all your lines using your favorite colored box. I like the green box, it's the quickest. All I have to do is touch them and we're done. But let's say that I just want this V shape unselected, but I want the other shapes to be selected so that I can delete them easy. If I hold down the Shift key and as I'm holding it, I move my cursor over one of the lines. Do you see that little minus sign that pops up? Might be easier to come over here. Minus sign. That little minus sign indicates that it will unselect the object if you click on it. And notice it only shows up at the center of your crosshair. So let's click that line. Oh, the blue went away and it is now unselected. Blue went away and is unselected. Again, just hold the Shift key down. When you're done, you can let go of the Shift key and then you can hit delete if you like, and it left the shape behind that I wanted. Pretty easy, right? Now when the video ends, I want you to practice selecting multiple lines and then unselecting a few of them. But just as a reminder, in this video we learned how to draw lines, how to delete them, how to select them, how to manipulate the lines using the grips, and we also learned how to select and unselect multiple lines at one time.